Do you believe that pay raises help employees work harder, or do they become more stagnant? Thoughts from you, Mr. Wu Trang?
Let's go. We would normally go with the winner first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Got to go with the winner first. All right.
So
let's go, Leon.
I'd love to start this off. Thank you. To me, it only motivates if this is what that person, that individual, that employee is motivated by. Not everyone is motivated by money. The number one reason that people leave organizations is not because of what they make, it's because they don't feel like they're valued within the organization. Now, does everyone want to make as much money as they can? Absolutely. But there's a great percentage of the population that comes to work just to get the 9 to 5, which actually doesn't exist, more 8 to 5, like RJ, right? They just want to come in, do the time, and get out. They don't care about increase in wages. So if someone is motivated by money and reacts because of it, absolutely it's a good thing, but not for someone that's not motivated by money.
Okay. All right, keeping it in round robin. I'm just going to keep it in order. We'll go ahead and go CJ. What you got for me?
Yeah, I don't know if pay raises make people work harder. I think hard working people work hard. Anybody I know, myself included, who's a hard worker, it didn't matter when I was making in high school $7 an hour working at Burger King flipping burgers. I worked hard when I did that. When I loaded tractor trailer trucks when I was 18 years old and it damn near messed my back up, I worked really hard at that. And so I think people who work hard, they just work hard in general. So I don't think a pay raise defines that for them. I'm more of a fan of bonuses. Obviously, when a pay raise makes sense, you want to raise somebody's pay. But I think bonuses is really what encourages people to work a bit harder, to push a bit harder on those KPIs, to push a bit harder towards those goals. And I like bonuses as that's the lever to get the best out of somebody. Like, how can I give them something to shoot even harder for to get to that next level? And so, again, I think hard people work really hard. If you're already lazy, if you already don't like to work, I don't know that getting a raise in pay is the thing that's going to all of a sudden magically make you want to show up all the time and get everything completed in a timely manner and whatnot. So I really don't think that it's pay raises. I think people who work hard work hard.
Good points. I like it. All right, Wu Trang, you're up. What you got?
It's an interesting question, right? Do they work harder or they become more stagnant? I would argue it's neither. If they come to you, most people want to do a good job. They want recognition. They want to be valued and appreciated, kind of like what Leon was saying earlier, right? It's not that they're not going to want more money. Everyone wants more money, obviously, but they don't come to work for the money. They come to work, whether it's just to pay the bills or to feel fulfilled. My understanding is that most people want to do a good job. I'm sorry, not most people, but the people that work for you generally want to do a good job. So as long as you're rewarding the good job and you're rewarding their efforts, I think that's going to go a lot further, right? Emotional income versus dollars. So I don't think it's going to do either. I think a pay raise, if you can do it, great. If they're worthy, absolutely do it. But I don't think it's going to make them work harder or less.
Got it. We went ahead and gave Steve an extra 7 seconds because of that voice cracking thing.
Thank you.
I was going to ask what happened to the timer.
Hey, I got it set up. I got yelled at by management. All right, rounding it out with RJ. What you got for me?
I'm curious if CJ and Leon even knew what the question was.
Whoa.
I mean, they just went straight at the pay raise, and it was, hey, does it make them work harder or can it make them more stagnant? I think that comes down to your company culture. I mean, if you have a culture of where they understand that because they're getting paid more, there's going to be expectations set for what they're doing to earn that pay increase, I think it can make them work harder. If that's not set, then yes, it can make them essentially become more stagnant in the position and for their compensation that they're receiving. So I think the factor that matters the most here is your company culture. I think that's what's going to differentiate it, whether or not they're going to become stagnant or they're going to work harder.
There you go. Discuss, gents.
I think everything that's said had to be said. I think maybe give Leon and CJ a second shot.
I don't need a second shot. I said what I said, and it was exactly what I meant to say. Right? No,
So my question to you guys is do you think them getting paid more can make them stagnant? Because y'all didn't touch on that.
No, listen, again, this is my point. Somebody who works hard, regardless if you're paying them $50 an hour, if you're paying them $75 an hour. If you increase their wage to $75 an hour, it's not going to be about whether they get stagnant or not. It's going to embed them even more in the culture. It's going to be make them more of a supporter of your organization. It's going to make them want to reach back harder and encourage and uplift other people in the organization that's in their downline behind them. We see it all the time. We use a lot of sports references on this show. Right? It's why do we hear that cliche conversation of veteran leadership? Right? Veteran makes more than a rookie at minimum. Why do they want, when you get drafted into the league, why do they want to partner you up with a veteran on the team for you to learn from? Who's the kid in Green Bay that just took over, Love or whatever his name is, for Aaron Rodgers? Now we know Aaron Rodgers, I think, allegedly is a jerk, right? So maybe he didn't. I don't know if he helped him or not. But Aaron Rodgers gets paid a bunch of money, and part of his obligation and job at that organization is to help Love, to help build him up. It's not for him to get stagnant. Maybe naturally he does, but if you're a hard worker, you're a hard worker either way, man.
So you're saying essentially that a person is who they are and nothing can change.
I'm not saying nothing can change it, but when you work hard, money's not your driver, right? And when you're a hard worker, man, if whatever your job is and you respect and honor your job, you're going to go hard and you're going to work hard at that job. I don't qualify somebody as a hard worker if they say, hey, I'm not going to work hard at the task that I've made a commitment to do because I don't feel like I'm getting paid enough. When you took the job, you agreed you got paid a certain wage. That's what it is. Well, look, when they gave you the TV show and they told you, hey, RJ, I know you got a show to do with Steve Trang on Thursdays. You can't go today. Guess what? You need to stay here. We need you to work a little bit harder on this TV show and shoot some more scenes. What did you do? We didn't see you. What did you do?
I'm going to tell you right now, anytime I've ever been.
What is your boss? When your boss told you to stay put, when your boss said, you know what, Fort Worth, stay put, brush your beard, get back on camera. You're a hard worker, RJ. What'd you tell us? RJ, what'd you tell us? I got a commitment. I need to honor this commitment, my contractual agreement. I don't got a contract with Steve Trang. I got to honor my contractual agreement. I got to get back to work. I'm a hard worker. It wasn't about the pay.
Listen, they
don't pay you a bunch of money for those TV shows. It wasn't about the pay. Let's be real.
No, but it was about the pay when I worked harder at Pizza Hut. Every time I went,
you're not talking about Pizza Hut, RJ. RJ, shooting a show is hard. Shooting a show is hard. Is shooting a TV show hard or not?
Yes.
Do you get paid a lot of money to do it or not?
No.
You're a hard worker, RJ. Did you bust your ass and show up every single time that they asked you to be on call?
Absolutely.
Right, because you're a hard worker. It didn't matter how much you were getting paid if you were going to get stagnant or not.
Hey, CJ.
But
you lower your mic a little bit, CJ.
Y'all told me to turn it up.
I know we told you to turn it up earlier.
Now you got excited.
I got
to get on RJ, man. What is he talking about right now?
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. When I got pay increases from shift manager to assistant manager to general manager, there was a added responsibility, but there was also a different work ethic that came from level to level because of the pay increase.
It might be ego.
I go to work.
It might be ego and power trip. You might be one of those guys that get one of those manager badges. They used to be one of your peers
assistant
and coworkers.
Assistant manager for the day.
Yeah, now all of a sudden you got a business card, man. You think you're sweet. You know what I'm saying? It says assistant manager. RJ based the third on it. Now you're at the bar handing out the girl saying that you're assistant manager at Pizza Hut. Nah, man. If you're a hard worker,
I would say, I mean, I think probably to Chris's point, right? You're probably always been a hard worker, RJ. So I think that, when you got a pay raise, you got that recognition, and that felt good for a momentary period of time. And after about probably a week or 2 weeks, you reverted back to who you normally are. So if you were already a great worker before, you're going to stay a great worker. You were lazy before, you're going to stay lazy, right? You're going to revert back to who you are. I don't think it's going to move you up or down one way or the other.
To my point earlier, that's exactly what I said.
I said it better
earlier,
so
RJ.
I was helping you out.
If you are not motivated by money, then it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be stagnant, but it's not going to make you work harder.
All right. So going back to my point, though, the culture of the company that is giving you that pay increase can be the differentiating factor there on whether or not you work harder or you become stagnant from the pay increase. Because
Absolutely.
that's really the question only gave us two options. Are they going to be stagnant or are they going to work harder? And so from my perspective, the culture that's set by the ownership of that company really is what makes the difference there.
I think it's a valid and it's a great point. Going back to the sports analogy earlier, if you're on a team or on a workforce team that it's allowed to be lazy, then you will be lazy, right? If it's not, I agree 100%. But like you said, the question only gave us the option of raising the pay.